Welcome back to my channel. In this episode, I'm going to recap my weekend at the 2023 California International Marathon, or CIM, as part of my journey to getting a Boston Qualifier in the near future.
Just a Friday morning in December at LAX, right? I guess all these people are off traveling elsewhere, or maybe they're headed to Sacramento like me.
I have timestamps listed below, so if you want to skip to the recap of race day, go ahead and do so. But first, coffee.
Gonna sit here for about half an hour before we board and enjoying my chestnut praline latte, because remember, 42 grams of carbs right here.
And we're off. It's surreal to look out of the window and see the same beach path I would do all of my long runs leading up to CIM. It's about a little over an hour to fly to Sacramento. You can see how the scenery changes, and we're definitely now in the central inland of California.
And we have arrived in Sacramento, so marathon weekend can officially begin. Oh my gosh, it's 50 degrees out here and it's cold. Why? Because I'm from LA and anything below 60 is freezing.
The Uber ride from the airport to downtown Sacramento is about 10 minutes. This year, I splurged and stayed at the Hyatt Regency in Sacramento, which is an officially affiliated hotel of CIM. Basically, I paid for the convenience and to be a pampered runner this weekend.
Wow, this is so cool. They have goodie bags for the marathoners. Don't mind if I do. Home sweet home for marathon weekend. So I like to get double beds because then I'll lay out all my gear on one of the beds and then sleep in the other. And let's check out the view. Oh, that looks nice. Looks nice. Oh, okay. I guess not that nice. I guess this hotel is like the official hotel for CIM. They got a lot of stuff planned here, and then most importantly, this pasta buffet and the Starbucks coffee shop being opened early on marathon morning. It's these little things like water, banana, earplugs, and hydration powder that makes it worth staying at the official hotel of the marathon, even though it was kind of expensive.
Gotta stay hydrated here, especially since I'm gonna go out for a shakeout run.
Okay, so I'm all settled in my room. Gonna go get the shakeout run done and over with before heading over to the expo. And I got my shirt on from last year. Yep, definitely in NorCal. Look at these leaves here. You don't have foliage in Southern California.
One of the advantages of staying at the Hyatt Regency is that it is located across the street from the state capitol, where all the marathon day festivities will be held.
I'm here in Sacramento, so let's knock this out. Let's get the shakeout run done for CIM. So my coach wants me to run this shakeout really, really easy, which I think I'm gonna have to because there's all these road closures, so I'm not even sure where I'm supposed to be running. Looks like the park is open still. Okay, so this will be a easy run through the park. Too bad, no time to stop to smell the roses, but they're beautiful. First mile down, it was like 9:44, so nice and easy. All right, 2 miles down at an average pace of 9:33. So kept it nice and light and easy. So time to head back to my hotel room because I'm right in front of the hotel right now. Get cleaned up and then head over to the expo.
Another advantage of staying at the Hyatt Regency was that it was a short walk to the expo.
And we're finally here.
the entrance to the expo here at the convention center. Unlike some of the other big marathons, the CIM Expo isn't overwhelmingly huge. That's right, fastest course in the West, which is why we're all here. Okay, trying to figure this out, which line to get into to pick up my packet. All right, got my bib, now gotta go get my bag and my shirt. Ooh, I'm liking the navy blue. I think that's a very flattering color. Okay, so got my bag. I'm gonna fill this up with things to check in tomorrow. I'm gonna drop the bag off tomorrow. If you're interested in purchasing race merch, you should show up to the expo on the first day because there's plenty of supplies. I don't think it'll be cold enough for gloves or a beanie, but they do look cool. The most important thing at the expo besides picking up your bib is the photo ops. Because this was the 40th anniversary of CIM, there was going to be other cool finisher swag to collect. Here is the course map. It starts in Folsom and goes through several small communities along the 26.2 mile trek back to downtown Sacramento. Even though this course bills itself as a net downhill, there are many rollers throughout the first half of the course. Be wary of miles 6 through 10. That's the goal one day. Not this year, but maybe next year. Okay, so this is probably the best $5 I spent here at the expo. $5, I get 15 minutes of the Normatec treatment. Yeah, I mean, I already have one of these machines at home, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to travel with, so I left mine at home. And one last look at the expo. Now remember, if I forget anything, I can always come back here tomorrow because it's right by the hotel. Actually, hold on. There's another photo op, so I'm not going to quite leave just yet. And here we are at the grocery store. This is the same grocery store I've been going to every time I come up here for CIM. And there we go. We got banana, milk, and water. What a busy day of traveling, shakeout run, and going to the expo as part of race weekend. I was happy to see this day come to an end. Now this is why I like getting a second double bed. It's to lay out all of my gear for the marathon. So I'm going to be wearing some arm sleeves, got my KT tape, my calf compression sleeves, there's my bib, there's my Buck Fitty gloves that's going to keep my hands warm at the start. I'm going to bring 6 gels total. I'm going to take this char gel right before the start, my salt tabs, and then say goodbye to these shoes. These were the same shoes that I wore last year at CIM, and I'm going to give it its last run here before retiring it to my speed workout shoes. Take a look at this. So it looks different right now, but tomorrow it's going to be complete chaos with finishers and family and friends. This is the finisher area. And then coming along 8th Street here, you make a left and then a sharp left, I believe, to the finish line. So unreal that I'm seeing this right now, about 24 hours right before I'm supposed to finish. Yeah, exactly. So it's like around 10:45. So hopefully in 24 hours, if the plan goes right, I'll be making that turn on that corner there. As I mentioned in my last running vlog, the A goal of CIM was to finish a sub 3:45. Although I had made a lot of progress with my running since last year's CIM, I was not ready for a BQ here this year. Instead, my coach recommended that I set a more manageable goal so I could come away with a positive mindset from this race. It's still moving forward towards a BQ of a sub 340 next year. Not all people are here to run super fast times. Some people are here to run their first marathon, set a new PR, or meet their own personal time goals, even if it means to finish under the official time limit of 6 hours. Regardless, we're all marathoners if we cross that finish line. There she is, Estelle.
I came here last year twice, and I just love their food so much that I got to come back today for brunch.
In case you were wondering, that Biscoff latte had 23 grams of carbs, the caprese sandwich on a baguette with a whopping 54 grams, and lemon meringue tart with 63 grams because I'm extra like that. C'est magnifique! After brunch, I explored the area because I didn't get to do so last year when it was pouring rain the day before.
Actually, I wonder if this is the Kofuzi Track Rabbit Shakeout run.
Well, I'm certainly not doing it. I'm full from brunch and I'm not dressed for it. But it is cool to see everybody lined up and, in their running gear. Helps me get into the right mindset for tomorrow. And there he is, the legendary running YouTuber Kofuzi, who I've subscribed to his channel since 2019. I managed to say a quick hello and a thank you along with this photo. Well, that was pretty cool. So I got my picture with Kofuzi, so all was good. I also dropped my bag off that afternoon because there is no gear check at the start. I was most excited about the pasta buffet hosted by the Hyatt Regency. For $45 plus an 18% service charge, it was all you can eat. Now, do I think this was fancy like a Vegas buffet? Of course not, but they had simple, easily digestible food. The key thing here was the convenience because I did not have to worry about making reservations in downtown Sacramento or even have to leave the hotel. I should have worn my stretchy pants instead of wearing my skinny jeans. Yeah, I'm a millennial, so you're gonna have to pry those skinny jeans off my legs.
Good morning. It's 3:07 on marathon morning. Or maybe it's 3:03. Oh well, the real time's somewhere in between, right? Don't worry, I'm not wearing this to the race. This is just to keep me warm. Thank you, Target clearance rack. I got this weird sweatshirt with this Ouija board, so maybe that means something. And then these pants. It's about couple sizes big, but that's okay. It'll be much easier to take off at the start.
Let's do this. Let's go get the shuttle. The nice thing about staying at the Hyatt Regency is that I can walk indoors to the shuttle stop. So I don't have to go out in the cold for a little bit. So, it's these small things that matter. It all adds up. I picked up the shuttle from the convention center. And last year I made the mistake of coming out a little late, so I actually had to wait in line for an hour. I was really worried about missing the start time, so this year I learned. Although it was 4 a.m. and they said that the shuttles would not leave until 4:30 a.m., it seemed like they were already starting the process. So far, so good. Got on this bus and it's only 4:13 a.m., so I should have plenty of time to finish up my breakfast and get in a stretch. An hour later, we arrived at the starting point in Folsom. We had the option to stay on the bus until start time, or we can hop on and off to use the porta potties. This is the most beautiful thing in the world. It almost brings tears to my eyes to see all of these porta potties available, no lines. Oh, it's gonna tear up. And good thing I brought toilet paper too in my bag, so if I do start crying, I got something to wipe my eyes. Before I knew it, it was time to line up in the corrals. Remember, the goal is to get a sub 3:45 finish. In 2019, I had finished with a 3:57, and last year I had finished with a 4:06. Basically, I would be happy with anything better than last year's time. Because the first half of the course consists of rolling hills, my coach had me take it easy in the beginning. Once I hit mile 16, then I could let it rip and take advantage of the downhills. The key to success on this course is to conserve energy in the beginning. I decided to start with the 350 pacer group and run with them for the first 5 miles. The pacers at CIM run even splits, so I knew I would tire out quickly if I ran with the 345 pacer. The first mile is downhill and gets crowded. I purposely fell behind the 350 pace group in the first 4 miles, but I caught up to them by mile 5. After mile 5, I went ahead of them so I can continue with the plan. I went easy going up the hills and then recovered on the downhills. I came in at the half at 1 hour 53:06, which is where the race plan had wanted me to be. I was excited that I actually executed the first half as planned.
Well, I just went by mile 20 and I totally hit the wall. I'm cramping. Despite all my best efforts. I think I took off too quickly in the beginning. Actually, I'm very proud of how I handled the first half, but I think, again, those rolling hills, they just pounded on me. It's okay. I know I'm going to finish, so it's all right. I'm just going to let go of any time goals right now. Just get to the finish line. Yeah, it's just not my day today, but that's okay. Just feel fortunate that I'm healthy and I'm here running. Weather's beautiful. Crowds are great. Letting every time expectation go because it's just making me more apprehensive, and it's taken away from the enjoyment of running. But really, I did have a good first half, so I'm happy with that. So I'm just gonna take a little walk break here and then regroup myself.
I got it together because I really wanted to eat that last hill on the bridge at mile 21.5. At this point, it was less than a 10K and finally a gentle downhill. The 350 and 355 pace groups had already passed me, and I knew if I kept running even at an easy pace, I could get another sub 4 hour finish. I could hear the 4 hour pace group behind me and use them to motivate me to keep moving. However, with 0.6 miles left, I had a nasty cramp in my left calf that caused me to pull over, and the 4 hour pace group passed me.
Seriously, with less than a mile to go, my left calf just gave out on me. Okay, it's alright. I can finish this. Remember, I don't care about time anymore. I just want to get to the finish line.
No point in beating myself up with being this close to the finish line. Maybe I can improve on my time from last year.
Okay. We're gonna do it. We're just gonna get it together. I only have to run like 10 more blocks or something, so we're almost there.
I worked hard all year, running fatigued after overnight shifts, sweating it out during speed sessions in the middle of summer, continuing to run when I was on vacation in foreign countries. Sure, this was not the race I wanted, but that was the reality of the situation. I wasn't going to let the disappointment ruin the last 0.2 miles of my CIM experience. 2023 finish time, 4 hours and 3 minutes even, not a second under or over. Here were my mile splits, and as you can see, the first half was executed beautifully, and then I completely fell apart in the end. I suppose it could have been a lot worse, but I did finish faster than my time last year while running faster and stronger in the first half. Little victories.
Lisa, Serena, Rachel, Carlos, David, Dana, Max, Elizabeth, Sean, Lavash, Anna, Stefania.
Oh my gosh, that was hard, but it's done. I cramped even worse today than I did last year, but I was able to keep it together a little better. I only stopped because I thought my calf was going to explode. That's how bad the cramps were.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great job. You look great.
Thank you.
There's something about running a marathon that is cathartic that I don't get from running halves or 10Ks. Another bottle to add to my collection of CIM finisher bottles. Now here's a practical finisher swag, a 40th anniversary backpack. I was not expecting something sturdy like that.
So I was wondering what the colors were on our bibs. I think that's black, right? I can't tell with my sunglasses on. Oh my gosh, that's a legit jacket. That's not like the
Of course, there was hot food in the end. They had burritos and oatmeal.
Let me save the rest of my burrito. My mouth is so dry, I can't even chew or swallow the burrito.
I have to admit the weather was perfect for post-race relaxation. It wasn't hot and it wasn't too cold. Look at that long line of Boston qualifiers waiting to ring the bell. It just keeps going on and on and on. Fortunately, the line for the other finisher photo op was much shorter, and they had a volunteer who kindly took pictures. Meanwhile, there were still runners continuing to cross the finish line, and you could see the excitement and relief in their strides. I walked back to the Hyatt Regency, which is located near the mile 26 marker. There was something poignant and inspiring to watch these runners finishing over 5 hours, continuing to fight their way. It reminds you that marathons aren't just for super fast Olympic trial qualifiers or Boston qualifiers. The running community is inclusive to all ability of age and ages. The runners finishing 5, 6 hours and beyond train with the same heart as the fast runners. Average people don't run marathons.
Here's a better view of the swag, the 40th anniversary of CIM. So there's the backpack, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of pockets. And then I really like this windbreaker. This is actually going to be really useful. And then, of course, the water bottle.
Here we are on L Street. Just think that 24 hours ago, I was hobbling the last 0.2 miles to the finish here.
Looks like all the signs and stands that were here yesterday are completely put away.
It wasn't the race that I was hoping for. I finished 18 minutes past my goal time. Was it a failure? No, I wouldn't say so, because anytime you're running a marathon and you finish it, that's an accomplishment. I'm taking the stoic approach and trying to detach myself from the results. Otherwise, I would just get too emotional and give up if all I did was just focus on the results, and that's not what Stoicism says. Instead, let's look at the little victories from yesterday. I am really proud of how I was able to keep it together to execute the plan for the first half. Also, my other non-time-based goal was to try to run the last 10K without stopping. I almost did that, except the cramp at 0.6 miles left to go. If it wasn't for that cramp, I would have accomplished that. I think I need to go back and work on my endurance. After all, I kept it together for the first half all right. It was the second half where no matter how much nutrition I had brought with me and took on the course, I ended up cramping. Overall, I've enjoyed this year with this whole process of marathon training, especially now that I have a coach. It's given me more discipline with my training, more structure. I'm learning more about exercise physiology and the importance of nutrition. I'm not burned out from doing like these useless workouts that I was doing by myself before, because I just thought, hey, the harder I run or the more miles I run, I'm just gonna get faster. But what I really needed was training by intention. And then let's look at all the other things I was able to accomplish earlier in 2023. I did get a sub 4 at Surf City, so that was quite an accomplishment. I also set PRs in the 10K distance and half marathon distance. And if you look at my overall running, I am getting faster and stronger. Now, I just gotta put it together for the marathon distance. In the end, I still had a great time at CIM weekend here in Sacramento. I had some great meals, had interesting conversation with other runners, and most importantly, I feel more inspired and motivated to keep working at the marathon distance. The marathon is not a zero-sum game. It's a process that you just got to keep working on and keep trying to hone in on your weaknesses while celebrating your strengths. I know that BQ will come at some time. it wasn't today, maybe next year, or maybe the year after, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep working at it, and it'll eventually come.
I had lunch inside the Hyatt Regency before taking off to the airport. It's like my medal is the toy that comes with a Happy Meal, but you know it's not. With that, it's time to head home and start planning on how to recover and train for the Surf City Marathon in Huntington Beach in 8 weeks. No rest for the weary.
Oh yes, and one more thing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more running videos in 2024. My next race will be at Surf City Marathon in February in Huntington Beach.